Hi everybody! Oh, it's hot out here. It is, I lost the timer. It is 94 degrees out here in the shade. Thank goodness for the shade cloth over the glass because the orchids like it and I like it. And I thought, well, we'll come out here to Repot Georgia Pearl. Now, she's been in just moss since I got her, and she's still looking really good. And I've had to water her every third day because this moss goes right dry. Every third day in moss because of this little pot and how dry it is in the house. Although I do miss the inside of this glass bowl and put her in there because it does help with the humidity around her. And I'll show you a close-up of her. She's looking really good. And the leaves. And we're going to take her out. And there's one root here that's no good for some reason. We'll take that one off. And I'll just sit over here. Nothing like getting right to it. It's nice to have people that enjoy plants and orchids and pets and just relaxing a bit. So I'm just gonna, I better take the tag out of here. I'm putting the moss in here, and it's a little bit, it's almost dry again from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so it's Saturday, so it was Wednesday it got watered, so it was a little damp in one spot, and I did mist it every morning. Now I see some new roots going, and that's a good thing, and I don't see anything else that looks like it needs pulled off, but I want to show you up close. Here we have a new root coming, and down in here we have a new root coming. The rest look good. There's little growing tips coming on some of them, and that's a very good sign. So what I want to do, because it's one thing looking after an orchid in a very small pot with moss and watering it 3 days, but if it's in this size of pot, half of the moss, I'll put all the moss that was in here, I'll put in with bark, and the bark has been soaking for 3 days with CalMag and seaweed extract. Seaweed extract is good for root growth, and so I'm going to put her there for a minute. So because I like bark, I'm going to do half and half. And all my others, like Phal Vivian, and she is still in bloom, and Alphinia, I changed from moss to bark. So this will happen, and I did the slow process because they're smaller and babies. But with my bigger orchids, I just do it, but then I give them an extra watering every week than what the other ones are getting. But right now it's been so hot, they've all been getting twice a week watering. So I'm going to pour a little bit of this liquid in here too, so that the moss is wet. Not too wet, but wet. So put some bark in the bottom, and we're going to wring the moss out. I'm not worried about the bark being too wet because it will dry off quite quickly. So I just squeeze, and that's a nice mix. I'll mix it up really good. A little bark, a little moss. Okay, now I'm going to make a little hole, and I'm going to take her, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the roots have it around them. But as those new roots grow out, they're going to grow out into a bark moss mixture. So I don't really want any air holes in here, so I'm making sure I got it all cuddled up close, and I'll just lay it in there. Now, I like to keep my orchids high in the pot because I've never had root rot, and because the bark is usually on the surface, it drains, the water drains away from the plant, especially the center of the plant. So, there we go. It's looking really good though, so it's been getting babied. There, now we're getting there. We'll put a little more moss, and we're getting closer to the surface where it's going to dry out quicker. There. And then slowly every watering day I'll pick a little bit of moss out. And I'll keep my eye on those new roots too. Make sure everything's going good. So now she will not need watered 3 times. 3 times in 1 week. She probably will need twice. I'm keeping her inside, and I'm keeping these smaller ones inside in the north window still. No growing light, because the window has light on the top, so they are getting lots of light. So just want to make sure it's firm in there. It's probably wondering what's going on. Now those new roots that I showed you, the small little ones, they'll be growing out mostly into bark, and that's what they'll get used to. Because anytime you change the medium on an orchid to a different medium, the roots are used to the other medium, and they will grow new roots to suit the medium that it's in. And that's why we kind of try and help them along with the transition, so that they just get used to it slowly. And you may lose a few that maybe we were going to lose anyway. You may lose a few, but generally speaking, you're going to do a lot better to just get them used to it slowly. And those new roots that are growing now in the growing season, they're going to be a lot happier. Boy, it looks like I did just the right amount of bark. I can actually smell the seaweed extract because it's hot out here. So, we've been using the fan slots because we never did get the air conditioner in. People have been, every time you phone somebody, last year when we were phoning people, everyone, because they're all booked up. And then some say, well, don't get certain ones. So we thought, well, hopefully there's no heat dome this year. But we went garage sailing today. And down in the canoe is a little, it's probably only 15 minutes drive from here. And it's kind of their own area. They're right down by the beach. And we went to a garage sale there, and the couple said, oh, the heat dome last year. They didn't have air conditioner, but they ran down and bought a window air conditioner. But she said she spent like, I think it was $400, and that was last year. Now they're more, because she showed me what she got because of all the forest fires and the smoke. So she got one of those air purifying, and it was in the house with the windows closed because of most the smoke. And I know they wanted clean air for health reasons. And so anyway, she said it was there, and she thought she better look at the filter and clean it. And holy smoke, she said it was just yellow with grime. And even though their windows were closed, this was air that was coming in the house. So, you know, we were looking at each other and thinking, well, maybe that should come before the air conditioner. We put lots of fans on, and luckily the east patio cools so quick, and it has a little roof over it, and there's always a breeze through there. So at night we open that door and blow the fan into the house. So anyway, we got her all potted, and she looks nice. And there is her little tag, Phal I-hsin Fantastic Pearl, but I call her Georgia Pearl, and I think that's a beautiful name. So I'm glad she's doing well. She looks very happy with new flowers coming. And of course, these have been all staying inside, and there's more flowers coming on my little Phal orchid, and she is beautiful. And Alphinia has a big flower about to open. Whoops, I got caught up on a table. There's Alphinia, and she has another bud about to open. She's happy. That was a new leaf. Hopefully, I would love her to get one more leaf. So she's doing good. And I'll show you here. Isn't it? They're beautiful. They're in the house, so they are getting heat too, but not quite as hot. But for some reason, when the orchids come out here, they start growing really good. And I want to show you over there. And I'll show you a close-up of the basket too. But you know, this mister, we keep it in the house, and I walk everywhere with it. I come out here, and do you know, it's still got water in from when Jack filled it when we got it. And if you live somewhere where these are available, Plant Care Mist, Ultra Fine, and Delta, it says, Delta sprayers. So I'll show you a close-up. I really recommend, I don't get paid for this, but this is so good. And I didn't write notes. I think it was Pamela and her husband sent this. And we're amazed. And you hold it down, and it comes for quite a while. And it's easy, 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 and the mist is awesome. And the reason you know you're not throwing so much water on your orchid is because it lasts longer than the other mists. They're still, I think, up to not quite halfway. And we're misting the glass terrarium 3-4 times a day, and it's handy for even little spots. You can go in and just give it a little shoot. And so anyway, yeah, I highly recommend that, and thank you for sending me one, because I have not seen anything like that around here. In fact, we have trouble just getting the plastic bottle with a half-decent sprayer on it. So I want to show you a big surprise, because my big white orchid over here hasn't been inside, has been out in this heat, but we do cool off at night, and she still looks beautiful. I got to show you a few things over there, and I'll show you the one I cut the leaf off of. It's in a little more sheltered location because it's you know, sort of in a recovery mode. And I'll show you the one I dumped the beef fat all over. So I think it's time to do a close-up. And thanks again for watching. Anything you want to know about, hear about, send me an email to Carolyn's Orchid Friends @gmail.com, and I'll put it in the description below this video. So anything you might want a video of, might want me to show you. I'm painting a couple traffic cones right now, but I'm in the spare room with everything over the spare bed and a fan above me, and but it works. So I want to take you over here and show you how things are looking. As soon as I get it off. There we go. Get a good hold. So I'll be wiping off those leaves too. Show you the root growth. And this is the one in the basket that seems to want to flower in the summer. So one day, my dream is, these are ones I had given up for dead. They're getting new leaves. The older leaves were looking terrible, but I just put them all, and I'm so far happy. They've all stayed in there. And this is how much root growth. Of course, you can always tell how fast they're growing, but there is still root growth on the tips, and even over here, because it is dry. It is dry. It usually gets Sunday, is my second watering, Wednesdays and Sundays, when it's convenient. So this is one big new leaf growing, nice and firm. And over here was the two I put together that were in the greenhouse that almost didn't make it, and I thought they needed a new pot. I think that's what those two are. And for some reason, this one decided to shoot out, because a couple that just had a lot of leaves still, I thought I'd try leaving the stem for those that are interested. And yes, it's shooting out flowers. Now, I like to give them their full wraps, but I thought I'd carry on and experiment. So. Oh no, these are the two from these are the two purple ones that were from the greenhouse, and they were in the heat through all the heat dome last year, and I didn't really want it to, but it is spiking. So, and this is the one that is from April 10th, 2022, that got the beef fat. It's losing a leaf slowly, but the leaves are still firm. So that's good. I'm making sure it stays good and hydrated. And there is some nice leaves, and I love to see the round leaves come. So lots of them are getting new leaves. But look at this. I mean, even in this heat, nothing. I haven't lost one. And it's still trying to grow a new leaf through all this. And the roots, they love the traffic cones. I need a big shower and all traffic cones. So, and in here, and down here, this is the one that I cut the leaf. So it's over a bowl of water on, sometimes I pick up those glass squares that you see, I don't know what they're used for, but when I pick them up, because they're great to put orchids on above a bowl of water. So The last leaf looked good. The ones before, when you see this yellow stripe, now it could be too much sun, but it could also be magnesium. And I do give CalMag with each watering, and I do also do an Epsom salt watering on my schedule. So it cleared up whatever was causing the problem anyway, because this leaf is looking really nice. So, other than the one I had to cut off. So, things are looking good. And, whoopee, I'll show you out the window. So, it's hot out here, but things are growing good. Would you like to go to the greenhouse? You can see how much the lemons have grown. And then, those are tomatoes in front of the gazebo. Oh my goodness. They're just enormous. They were in the greenhouse and I took them out. And we're picking raspberries every second day. And tomorrow is raspberry picking. And then I just freeze them to do what I want with later. So there's be lots to pick. And see, the birds like to come here and have a bath. So, and I got 2 little tomato plants free because they looked like dead, and this is one of them, and it's coming, and it's getting tomatoes. Okay, let's see how big. Now this is the orange tree, and they're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. Plus I had to fertilize them, and I'm proud of myself. I actually got them. And even the orange tree has had some blossoms. There's one in the back here. So, and the lemon tree has been blossoming too. So, there's still nice size coming. And this is the other tomato plant that was given up, and they put them out free. I just planted them deep in a pot. They were in like a 2-inch pot and just long with nothing. Plant them deep, they grow roots and do good. I've been picking cucumbers. This is in the greenhouse because it is 110 here right now. I think it is. Humidity is in here, it's about 58, and the thermometer is about 110. Yeah, 110. So, I'll show you the garden and then we're done. The peach tree is over by the shed, and it is getting peaches. And there's more raspberries. These ones are a different kind. They don't have prickles, and they're bigger. So, holy smokes. I thought I planted bush beans. The potatoes, they're purple potatoes, and they're in bloom right now. Beets are ready to pick. And there is some green, huge, big tomatoes, if you can see that. Now, it doesn't look perfect because it was surprisingly, but it's that big out there already. So, but there are coming, and everything grew tall this year. So, anyway, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.